1992, Clinton was on the campaign trail. Nirvana ruled the airwaves in movie studios. They were burning through money like it grew on trees. Today, we're diving into 6 cinematic misfires from that year, films that had big stars, bigger budgets, and even bigger expectations, and still face-planted at the box office. Some were mismarketed, others misunderstood. A few were just plain bizarre. Buckle up, this is the wild world of 1992's forgotten flops. Number 6, Hoffa.
He wasn't afraid of anyone.
He said, why shouldn't he take you out in the alley and beat you until you beg for death?
Tell him he gives me a cup of coffee, I'll answer his questions.
Directed by Danny DeVito and starring Jack Nicholson, with a prosthetic forehead that could unionize on its own. Hoffa was supposed to be Oscar bait, a serious biopic of the controversial Teamsters leader, dripping with prestige. But when it hit theaters in December of 1992, it flopped, pulling in just $29 million on a $35 million budget. Not catastrophic, but definitely a disappointment. So what went wrong? For one, the script, written by David Mamet, took major liberties with Hoffa's life, including fabricating the entire final scene. Critics weren't sold and audiences didn't connect. Behind the scenes, the production was intense. Nicholson reportedly wore his Hoffa makeup for hours a day, and DeVito, pulling a double duty as director and co-star, was adamant about shooting in freezing Chicago to keep it gritty. In the end, it was too gritty for its own good. Hoffa faded fast, buried under a pile of better-received holiday releases. Number 5, Twin Peaks, Firewalk with Me.
Don't do that. She doesn't like it.
How do you know what she likes?
In 1990, Twin Peaks became a pop culture phenomenon, a weird, wonderful blend of soap opera, horror, and surrealism. David Lynch's brainchild captivated audiences, until it didn't. The show was canceled in 1991 after ratings nosedived in season 2. But Lynch wasn't done. In 1992, he dropped a prequel film, Twin Peaks, Firewalk with Me, a nightmarish, deeply unsettling dive into Laura Palmer's final days. Fans expecting quirky coffee shop banter and who killed Laura Palmer mystery were instead served brutal trauma, long silences, and a whole lot of screaming. And it tanked. The budget was around $10 million, but it managed to only bring in $4.2 million at the box office. Audiences walked out, and at the Cannes Film Festival, they booed it. Roger Ebert called it a morose, despairing movie. And behind the scenes, Lynch had to fight for control. Kyle MacLachlan almost didn't return at all. He only agreed to do a minor role, forcing the script to shift focus to new FBI agents played by Kiefer Sutherland and Chris Isaac. Yep, that Chris Isaac. Years later, the film would be reappraised as a bold, harrowing masterpiece. But in 1992, it was a bomb. A haunting, Lynchian, beautifully miserable bomb. Number 4, Radio Flyer.
Everything's gonna be okay. I promise.
He was chasing me and I couldn't get away.
Bobby!
If you don't remember Radio Flyer, you're not alone. Marketed as a whimsical family adventure. Think E.T. meets Stand By Me. But it turned out to be something way darker. The story follows 2 brothers, played by Elijah Wood, no relation, and Joseph Mazzello, as they try to escape their abusive stepfather. One of them builds a flying wagon. Yeah, that's right, a flying wagon. It sounds like a metaphor, but the movie plays it weirdly straight. Audiences were baffled. Critics didn't know whether to cry or cringe. In the box office, a disaster. The budget was about $35 million, and they only managed to take in about $4.6 at the box office. And of course, the drama behind the scenes was legendary. The original director, Thomas E. Logan, was fired after the movie was almost finished. That's right, the movie was almost finished. Dude gets fired. Then comes in Richard Donner from Superman and the Goonies. Richard Donner reshot nearly the entire film, recast key roles, and tried to save what was left. Even the narration, by Tom Hanks no less, couldn't keep this one grounded. It became a cautionary tale in Hollywood. Don't mix child abuse and fantasy, no matter how noble your intentions. Number 3, The Babe.
Where did he come from? Where'd you come from, Rook?
From out of nowhere.
Baseball legend Babe Ruth, larger than life, a symbol of American excess, and the kind of role model that seems tailor-made for a biopic. Enter The Babe, starring John Goodman as the Sultan of SWAT in full blustery beer-chugging form. Released in 1992, this was supposed to be a big crowd-pleasing sports drama, but instead of hitting it out of the park, it bunted. The budget was $30 million, and the box office, well, $17 million. Critics panned the movie for its inconsistent tone. It couldn't decide if it wanted to be a gritty character study or a sentimental sports movie, and Goodman, despite giving it his all, just didn't have the nuance the role needed. He was loud, he was big, but Ruth was complicated, and the film just scratched the surface. Even the makeup got roasted. Goodman's aging prosthetics were mocked, and the attempts to slim down or beef up different eras of Ruth's life were, let's say, distracting. Behind the scenes, there was a pressure to make the film kid-friendly, which meant glossing over a lot of Ruth's vices. Drinking, womanizing, brawling, so the story never fully felt honest. The result? A movie too adult for kids, too soft for adults, and too forgettable for everyone else. Number 2, Cool World.
Now he thinks he's going home to the real world, but he's wrong. Real wrong.
Imagine if you took the visual energy of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, turned the weirdness up to 11, and stripped out the charm. That's Cool World, a 1992 animated live-action hybrid that promised edgy adult animation and delivered a fever dream. Directed by cult animator Ralph Bakshi, it starred Brad Pitt, before he was Brad Pitt, Kim Basinger as a hypersexual cartoon femme fatale, and Gabriel Byrne as a cartoonist who, gets too close to his creation.
Indulge your fantasies. Man is in the bedroom.
Are you gonna follow the rules? Or are you gonna follow your instincts?
The film had a $30 million budget, but only clawed back $14 million at the box office. Why? Because literally no one knew what it was supposed to be. Behind the scenes, Bakshi had a completely different vision. His original script was a hard R-rated horror noir about a cartoon human hybrid child wreaking havoc, but the studio panicked and demanded a softer, more mainstream story. What they got was a Frankenstein mess of half-baked plot lines and sexual tension that somehow made zero sense. Bakshi hated the final cut. Brad Pitt later called it one of his worst films. And Kim Basinger, she allegedly wanted to turn the movie into a PG-rated film so she could show it at children's hospitals. Spoiler, that didn't really work out. Today, Cool World is a cult oddity, a bold swing with beautiful animation and nowhere to go. Number 1, stay tuned.
Hey, lady, watch out!
And every series is a nightmare. That's entertainment. Because Satan is the sponsor.
Before streaming, before DVR, there was cable TV. And in Stay Tuned, it's a literal gateway to hell. No, seriously, it is. This 1992 dark comedy stars John Ritter and Pam Dauber as a bored suburban couple who gets sucked physically into a satanic satellite network run by a demonic executive. Inside this world are twisted versions of classic TV shows, all designed to kill them and take their souls. On paper, it's a killer concept, but in execution, it fizzled. Budget $25 million, box office $12 million. Critics found it too tame to be edgy, too mean-spirited to be family-friendly, and the tone bounced harder than an old tube TV on concrete. The parodies came fast and frantic, but most of them fell flat, relying more on the title puns than clever writing itself. Behind the scenes, it was a creative tug-of-war. Director Peter Hyams wanted more grit, but test screenings pushed the studio to sand off the edges. The result? A film with a wicked premise, but sitcom-level stakes. Still, John Ritter was giving it his all, And there's a certain nostalgic charm to seeing early 90s TV culture lampooned with such commitment, even if most audiences changed the channel before the credits rolled. So what do these 6 flops have in common? Big ambitions, big names, and even bigger identity crisis. In the cinematic chaos of 1992, they couldn't find their audience. But years later, some have become cult classics. Others, cautionary tales. Let me know which one of these you think deserves better, or if they all earn their spot in the bargain bin of history. Don't forget to subscribe if you like watching this kind of crap. And remember, in Hollywood, not every swing hits. But the misses, sometimes they're even more fascinating.